the last candle, never lose hope. The storm outside had swallowed Brooklyn in darkness. Power lines dangled like broken veins, rain hammered on shattered windows, and silence pressed itself into every corner of the narrow apartment except for one faint glow, a single candle, trembling in the wind's breath. Maria Alvarez cupped her hands around the flame. 42 years old, an immigrant from Mexico, she had fought too many storms in life to let this one win. Her son, Gabriel, only 10, sat on the couch with a blanket pulled up to his chin. His eyes flicked between his mother's tired face and the fragile light. "Mom," he whispered, voice cracking with fear, "what if the candle goes out?" Maria forced a smile she didn't feel. "Then we'll light another." But there wasn't another. That small candle was all they had left. The struggle before the storm. Life in America had never been the dream Maria imagined when she crossed the border 15 years ago. She cleaned offices at night, worked diners during the day, and still barely made rent. Gabriel's father had disappeared when the boy was 5, first with promises of sending money, then with silence. Yet Maria had carried on. Because she had to. Because Gabriel deserved more than the broken pieces life had handed her. 2 months before the storm, Maria had received an eviction notice. Rent was 3 weeks late. She'd been hiding it from Gabriel, keeping her worry locked behind a smile. She told him everything was fine because mothers sometimes lie when the truth is too heavy for a child's heart. But as the storm raged tonight, and the candle's light wavered, Maria wondered if she had reached her breaking point. The candle and the confession. The apartment walls shook. Somewhere outside, a transformer exploded, sending a wave of sparks into the wet night. Gabriel flinched, burying his face into his blanket. Maria moved closer, holding the candle between them. He looked at her then, eyes shining not from the candlelight but from tears. "Mom, are we gonna be okay?" Maria's throat tightened. She wanted to promise him safety, comfort, a warm bed that wouldn't be taken away. But lies sat bitter on her tongue tonight. Instead, she whispered, "I don't know, my Joe. But I know we won't stop trying." Her voice cracked, the candle flickered, and for the first time in years, Maria allowed herself to cry in front of her son. Gabriel reached out, his small hand gripping hers. "Then I'll help you, Mom. We'll fight together." And in that moment, Maria realized something: the candle wasn't their last hope. Gabriel was. The neighbor in the dark. A knock startled them. At first, Maria thought it was just the storm slamming something against the door. But then it came again, 3 heavy knocks. "Who could be out there?" Gabriel whispered. Maria hesitated, then opened the door a crack. Standing in the hallway, soaked to the bone, was Mr. Thompson, the old veteran who lived 2 floors down. His limp was worse tonight, his hands shaking as he held a flashlight. "Power's out all over the block," he said, his voice gravelly. I didn't want to sit alone." Maria stepped aside without thinking. He entered, dripping water onto the floor, and when he saw the single candle burning, he smiled faintly. "That's beautiful. Reminds me of a time, long ago in the war, when one candle kept my unit from losing hope." Gabriel perked up. "Really?" Mr. Thompson nodded. "Sometimes one flame is all you need to remember you're still alive." The 3 of them sat in silence after that, the storm outside howling like a wounded animal, the candle flame swaying but never dying. The twist of fate. Hours passed. The storm showed no mercy. Then came the crash, wood splintering, glass shattering. Someone had broken into the building. Maria froze. She knew too well what storms invited: looters. Desperate men who saw chaos as opportunity. The footsteps echoed in the hallway, closer and closer. Maria grabbed Gabriel and pulled him behind her. Mr. Thompson, despite his limp, stood like a soldier again, gripping his flashlight like a weapon. The door burst open. Two men entered, their faces masked, eyes sharp. They spotted the candle first, the light betraying them. "Hand over anything valuable," one barked. Maria's heart pounded. She had nothing to give, nothing except the meager cash hidden in her purse, rent money she had fought tooth and nail to gather. She clutched Gabriel tighter. But then, before she could move, Mr. Thompson stepped forward. His voice was firm, steady, like a man who had stared down fear before. "Take my wallet. But you leave them alone." The men hesitated, caught off guard by his defiance. One snatched the wallet, the other looked toward Maria. But the old veteran's eyes blazed with something that made even desperate thieves think twice. After a tense moment, they turned and left, the hallway swallowing their footsteps. Maria collapsed, tears streaming. "You didn't have to." "Yes, I did," Mr. Thompson interrupted softly. "Because sometimes the world takes everything from you, and the only thing left is to protect the light you see in others." He glanced at Gabriel. "That boy is your light. Don't let anyone take it away." The dawn after darkness. By morning, the storm had passed. The city was wounded, trees torn from the ground, streets flooded but still standing. The candle, against all odds, had burned through the night, its wax nearly gone, its flame stubborn. Maria stepped to the window, holding Gabriel close. Across the street, neighbors emerged, checking on each other, sharing food, clearing debris. The world had bent but not broken. That afternoon, something unexpected happened. A city worker knocked on Maria's door, clipboard in hand. "Ma'am, we're assessing storm damage. You and your son need relocation. FEMA assistance will cover temporary housing." Maria blinked. For the first time in months, she didn't feel cornered by eviction notices or unpaid bills. Help had come unexpected, imperfect, but real. She looked at Gabriel, who was still clutching the stub of the candle like treasure. His smile was tired, but alive. The final light. Weeks later, Maria found work with the city's relief program, helping other families displaced by the storm. Gabriel returned to school with stories of the candle that never gave up. One night, when the power was back and life was inching toward normal, Gabriel placed the tiny, melted stub on their kitchen shelf. "Why keep that?" Maria asked gently. "Because," Gabriel said, his eyes wise beyond his years, "it reminds us that even when there's only one small light left, it can still get us through the darkest night." Maria hugged him, tears soft this time, not from fear but from gratitude. She looked at the stub of wax and understood, the last candle had never just been about fire. It was about love. About hope. About never letting the darkness win.